We have been saying this is the biggest abuse of power corruption scandal in American history. Now we know Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Susan Rice, Sally Yates, Mr. Super Patriot Jim Comey, higher, lowest honor on earth, have been exposed. What we're about to show you, it should anger every American. It should shake you to your core. It should send a shiver up your spine if you love our Constitution and you love freedom and you believe in the rule of law, because all of these high-ranking bad actors now must be held accountable, or we can kiss this great republic goodbye. That's how serious it is tonight, based on what we can report. And that is newly uncovered bombshell, handwritten notes from, Peter Strzok himself, revealing the sick, the twisted origins of the General Flynn probe. In a memo detailing the infamous, remember we talked about that timeline, January 5th meeting in the Oval Office, the White House. By the way, still a lot of it redacted, and I'm told when we get that information, it's even worse. Peter Strzok detailing the brainstorming session between Obama, Biden, Comey, Sally Yates, and others. This was one day after the Flynn case was done, shut, closed, because they had no evidence of anything inappropriate. This meeting focusing on how to destroy Lieutenant General Flynn. According to Strzok, then FBI Director Jimmy Comey, he stated, quote, Flynn's Kislyak calls, they appear legit, meaning they did nothing wrong, because the investigation proved, and now the transcripts show, nothing was ever wrong about that call, like the president's call with Zelensky. That did not stop the Democratic presidential nominee, Joe Biden, who brought up, quote, the Logan Act to go after General Flynn. Now, remember, that's the law from 1799 that has never been used. Keep in mind, all of this after they exonerate a 33-year veteran and war hero. Obama clearly approving, saying that, these are unusual times. Then Obama in the Oval Office saying that his team should, quote, have the right people on it. Remember Strzok said the White House wanted to be informed every step of the way? Let me translate what Obama's saying for you. Obama wanted anti-Trump zealots who were ready and willing to take down General Flynn. By the way, should I be telling the Trump transition team or not telling them things? Now we know why the 7th floor of the FBI the day before, along with Peter Strzok, decided to reopen a closed case against General Flynn after it was dead in the water 24 hours earlier. Now we know why Susan Rice wrote the biggest CYA email to herself on Donald Trump's inauguration day 15 days later, Obama's last day in office, saying Barack wanted everything to be done by the book. He said, by the book, by the book. And we also know why Sally Yates, when she spoke to the House Intelligence Committee, was shocked to discover that day that President Obama knew every detail about Flynn and his phone conversations. Now, we started this investigation in March of 2017. We also now know why Lisa Page texted that Obama wants to know everything we are doing. Now we know what the insurance policy was all about if Donald Trump happened to win after they protected Hillary Clinton from the Espionage Act and obstruction of justice and her dirty Russian disinformation dossier. This all came from the very top. The Obama administration, Obama loyalists, and the DOJ, they were hell-bent smearing, destroying anybody in Donald Trump's orbit. Why? Because they wanted to undo a duly elected president, because they thought they knew better. Now we know why Roger Stone had a pre-dawn raid in the middle of the night, 29 guys in tactical gear and CNN cameras. Now we know why, same with Paul Manafort. Now we know why he had a pre-dawn raid, sticking guns in his wife's face and throwing him in solitary confinement so that he might say things that would get him off the hook, which he didn't. Now we know why Papadopoulos was threatened with years in prison when all he said was, I would never do that. Nobody ever talked to Russia. This was all, in the end, a means to the end. They wanted to turn the screws and take down the president that you, the American people, elected. That is called an attempted coup. And by the way, Joe Biden, are you really unable to remember the January 5th meeting where you offered up the Logan Act as a means of persecuting and prosecuting and destroying the life of General Flynn? Or are you just a liar? I'm actually betting you're a liar. Take a look.
So what did you know about those moves to investigate Michael Flynn, and was there anything improper done?
I know nothing about those moves to investigate Michael Flynn.
I do want to press that. You say you didn't know anything about it, but you were reported to be at a January 5th, 2017 meeting where you and the president were briefed on the FBI's plan to question Michael Flynn over those conversations he had with the Russian ambassador Kislyak.
No, I thought you asked me whether or not I had anything to do with him being prosecuted.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was aware that they asked for an investigation, but that's all I know. I was never a part or had any knowledge of any criminal investigation into Flynn while I was in office, period. Not one single time.
Not a part of any investigation into Flynn? That's a lie. Not a part of the Logan Act, Joe? That's a lie. Not a part of the January 5th meeting? That's a lie, Joe. What did Joe know? What did Barack know? What did Comey know? What did McCabe, Page, Strzok know? What did Sally Yates know? And when did they know it? Now, I know tonight many of you have been frustrated because the wheels of justice have moved painfully slow. Yours truly as well. We first started on this with unmasking, illegal surveillance, leaking raw intelligence in March of 2017. I also want to know what Clapper and Brennan knew. And ever since this program and our ensemble cast here every single night, we have reported to you the truth. And by the way, my sources are now telling me tonight the dam is about to burst wide open and that a truckload of all new evidence is on the way. The Durham probe is real. It has made real progress, and thank God. Now, if this can happen to Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, nobody in this country is safe. In that terms of abusing the power and using the powerful tools of intelligence and turning him on American heroes like General Flynn, he was a hero. 33-year veteran, multiple tours of duty. He served this country with honor and with distinction. And 4 years of his life was ripped away by these top, well, so-called leaders, the 1% that abused their power. He lost his house. He faced bankruptcy. They threatened to put his son in jail, used it as leverage, even though they didn't feel like he was lying. So, in other words, yeah, I have to sign this or you're going to go after my son? Well, he impaled himself and dove on the sword, I guess like any good, loving father would do. All of this because his political connection to Donald Trump. Then the mob and the media, that despicable, repulsive group, the country's very own Democratic state-run Pravda, they cheered for the persecution of General Flynn. When are you in the mob going to apologize? Hey, Humpty Dumpty, that means your fake news network. Roswell Rachel Maddow, that means your conspiracy TV network. That means the New York Toilet Paper Times, the Washington Compost, ABC, NBC, CBS. You all owe General Flynn a huge apology for what you said and did and your lack of objectivity and your lies about Russia and Ukraine. You might remember.
Did Flynn go rogue, by the way, when he spoke to Russia? Well,
fact is, Michael Flynn betrayed his country.
Michael Flynn betrayed the nation.
After 2 hours of a judge rebuking fired National Security Advisor Michael Flynn using words such as treason and disgust and disdain,